Hi, Sydney Brown here. Welcome back to Memoir Mastery, a step-by-step guide to writing your life story. We're getting into chapter 2, finding your theme and focus. So if you're following along, make sure that you like the videos, that you subscribe to the channel, and that definitely comment below, say that you've subscribed, say you're following, ask any questions. I definitely do my best to interact with as many people as I can each day. So by all means, please like, subscribe, and let's get moving. So now we're going to move into finding your theme and central focus. And to go into the first section, we're going to talk about the importance of a central theme. So let me tell you, having a central theme in your memoir is like having a compass to guide you through the crazy maze of your life experiences. It's like a lighthouse in the storm, a beacon, that shines through the fog and helps you make sense of it all. A central theme is what gives your memoir focus and purpose and direction. It's the thread that ties all your life experiences together, and it's the glue that holds your story together. Without a central theme, your memoir would be like a jigsaw puzzle with no edges. It's got lots of interesting pieces, but no clear picture. But here's the thing. Finding your central theme isn't always easy. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, or a matching sock in the dryer. It takes time and patience and a willingness to dig deep and explore all the nooks and crannies of your life experiences. One way to find your central theme is to ask yourself, what's the story that I want to tell? Is it a story of resilience in the face of adversity? Or is it about, overcoming fear and doubt? Or is it maybe a story of finding love in unexpected places? Whatever it is, your central theme needs to be something that speaks to the heart of your story and to the human experience more broadly. Having a central theme in your memoir is really important because it gives your readers something to hold on to. It's what makes your story resonate with others, and it's what makes it relatable and memorable. Your central theme is what connects the story to the larger world, and it's what makes it more than just a series of anecdotes and memories. So, if you're thinking of writing a memoir, take the time to come up with your central theme. It may take some digging, it's some soul searching, maybe even a few tears, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it. Your central theme is what will give your memoir the focus, the depth, and the meaning. And it's what will make your story sing to your reader. And it's what will make it unforgettable. So now let's talk about how to find your unique focus. So here you are. You're ready to find your central theme, right? So let's get to it. First things first. Finding your central theme is like trying to find a needle in a haystack or a matching sock in a dryer. It's not always easy, but it is definitely worth it. Your central theme is what will give your memoir focus and depth and meaning. It's what will make your story sing and what will make it unforgettable. So how do you find your central theme, right? Well, here's a few tips to get you started. So think about what makes your story unique. What sets you apart from everyone else? What are the defining moments or experiences that have shaped you into the person that you are today? What makes your story different from every other story out there? You are unique. Your story is different. You just have to identify what those differences are. Now consider your passions and your interests. What are the things that light you up? What are the topics or the themes that you're most drawn to? And what are the things that you could probably talk about for hours on end? So reflect on the emotions that come up as you think about your life experiences. What are the feelings that you associate with different moments in your life? Your childhood, your adulthood, as you've gone through your story in your mind, what feelings does that, drum up for you? What are the things that make you feel most alive, most fulfilled, most joyful? Figure those moments out. And then also look for patterns in your life experience. What are the recurring themes or motifs that you see in your life story? What are the things that just keep showing up over and over and over again? What are the things that seem to be guiding you toward a particular path or a direction? Consider your audience. Who are you writing this memoir for? What are the things that they would most likely be interested in, or most moved by, most inspired by? What are the things that will resonate with them on a deep emotional level? Explore different angles and perspectives. Sometimes our central theme isn't immediately obvious, and it may require looking at our life experiences from a different angle or perspective. So if you're not getting something immediately the way you're thinking about it, kind of twist it up and try approaching your story from a different angle, like your relationships or your career or your personal growth. You may be surprised at what you discover. Don't be afraid to get vulnerable. Finding your central theme may require digging deep and getting uncomfortable. It may require confronting some difficult emotions, some painful memories, or uncomfortable truths. But remember, it's through our vulnerabilities that we connect with others on a deeper level. Your central theme may be something that you've been hiding or avoiding, but you might find that embracing it may be the key to actually unlocking your story's true potential. Now, sometimes finding our central theme requires experimenting with different styles of writing and formats. Maybe your story is best told through poetry or through letters to your younger self. It may be vignettes, but don't be afraid to play around with different styles and formats until you find the one that captures your central theme. And then get feedback from others. Sometimes we're too close to our own story to see the forest for the trees. Getting feedback from others can actually be a great way to gain a fresh perspective and to identify the central themes and motifs that we may have missed. Find a trusted friend, a family member, or a writing group to share your work and ask for their honest feedback, and be gracious and open enough to listen to it when they provide it. Now remember, finding your central theme takes time and patience. It may require some soul searching, some journaling, and maybe a few glasses of wine. Don't worry though. You got this. You got this. Your central theme is out there. It's just waiting for you to discover it. Just keep exploring, keep digging, and you will find it. You never know what's going to happen out there. All right, so let's get on to brainstorming techniques. So now you're ready to start brainstorming for your memoir. Now, first things first, understand that brainstorming is like a treasure hunt. You're on this mission to uncover all the gems and the hidden treasures and, the gold nuggets that will make your memoir shine. It's a process of exploration, discovery, and uncovering the unexpected. Now, let's talk about some brainstorming techniques that can help you on your journey. So let's start with free writing. Now, this technique involves setting a timer for a certain amount of time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then writing whatever comes to your mind without stopping or editing. The goal is just to keep the pen moving, or in case of typing, keep your fingers moving, even if it doesn't make any sense to you. The whole goal of doing this is to kind of override that mental critic, the inside voice that wants to control things and to do things the way it thinks. But you can actually, through free writing, just totally overrule it as long as you keep the pen moving, and the thoughts will crush through at some point of nonsense. The sense will show up. So it's a really good technique, and especially if you start feeling like you don't know where to start, or you feel like you have some writer's block, free writing is a wonderful technique to use. So next, we're going to move on to mind mapping. Now, this technique involves starting with a central idea or a theme, like childhood memories or career milestones, and then branching into sub-themes and related ideas. Now, our goal here is to create a visual representation of your ideas and to see what the connections and relationships are between the different aspects of your life story. So for example, if let's say childhood memories, let's say that, you start here and you want to start with your childhood memories. You might say, I have my childhood years, my preteen years, my teenage years, and then from there, you want to niche down into the subtopics. So let's say in your teenage years, you may say, there's a couple different aspects of your teenage years. You could talk about your education or your dating life or your best friends. From that, if you went into your dating life, you could say, I've got all of these little topics here where it was your first breakup, your first makeup, your first, anything first. But the whole thing is, once you have created your bigger topics, and then you niche down into your subtopics for each thing, you'll visually be able to see your whole life, and you will be able to see the things that you remember. And it's those things that usually the things you remember are where most of your life experiences are. And you'll kind of, there's a lot of things right here, not so many things here. So you don't want to discount the things that don't have a lot of things, but you really do want to focus on where all of the action is, because there's usually some great stories in there. Now, if it's something that is not different or unique from the others, you may want to, go down that rabbit hole of some other areas. Maybe you go into career milestones and you subtopic those down until you realize, ooh, I've got a great story here, because, I started out in, maybe fast food, and then you ended up as the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. That's definitely a unique story, because not everybody does that. So as you see your entire life in mind mapping, you should be able to really get some great brainstorming of what your focus should be. So let's move on to listing. Now, listing is pretty easy. It's kind of, the first method of brainstorming that a lot of people already know how to do. It's a really good one. It may not get you as deep in, but it's a great place to start. So this technique involves creating a list of ideas, of memories or themes that are related to your memoir. The goal here is to generate just as many ideas as possible without worrying about their order or organizing it at all. The idea is to get everything down on paper and then to sort it out later. So literally just, sometimes when I'm doing this, I'll think of overcomer list, these are all the things that I've survived. These are all the things that tried to crush me but didn't. When you do lists, it really can spur a lot of other ideas because you forget how awesome you are. So don't forget it. Make sure that you have your list. Start with an overcomer list especially. The next method that we're going to talk about is interviewing. Now, interviewing is kind of interesting because this technique involves interviewing yourself and others about your life experiences. So the goal here is to ask open-ended questions that encourage reflection and exploration, and to use those answers to kind of start your memoir. When you interview yourself, it may be kind of awkward. So what you really want to do is write it down. Ask yourself the questions in writing, and then allow yourself the time to reflect and answer those questions. When you answer those questions, you're going to find a lot of content that you're going to be able to share that will be uniquely yours. And then in interviewing other people about you, obviously you want to interview people who know you, but they don't have to know everything about you, because sometimes it's interviewing the other people who have a whole different perspective of what happened. Maybe let's say your first failed test, your friend may remember that you were mad, but what you remember is how crushed and disappointed and how much of a failure, what they see versus what you see are often two entirely different things. So it's really good to get their perspective, whoever they is, as well as your own. So interviewing, it may feel awkward, but push through the awkwardness, because this is where the good stuff comes from. All right, so now let's talk about visual prompts. This technique of brainstorming involves using visual prompts like photographs, artwork, or physical objects as a starting point for your memoir. The goal here is to use these visuals as a jumping off point for your memories and ideas, and to explore the connections and relationships between them. So for example, here, what you could do is open a photo album if you have one, or go through photos, if you're of the era that you don't have the photo albums anymore. But just start going through photos, and those emotions should stir up in you, whether that's a memory of, your dad taking you fishing, or, the birth of your first child, whatever it is, those pictures should spur an emotional reaction that then will spur you into writing more of your memoir. All right, so the next technique we're going to talk about is using prompts. Now, sometimes it can be helpful to have a specific prompt guide you in your brainstorming. Now, you might choose a prompt like the moment that changed the rest of my life, or the biggest risk I ever took was, and maybe the person who shaped me the most was. And by starting there, it kind of triggers your memory to take it into the deeper stories. So when you do this as a prompt, it helps you write small stories that could become bigger stories. This is one of the methods that we provide in our I Remember When project, where basically, if you're not focused on your own course already, you don't already have a focus of your memoir, that you can use the daily prompt to help inspire you and help you through your brainstorming. Now, if you're interested in that, you can probably find that in the comments below or in the description. And don't hesitate to reach out and definitely join the writing community. It is a free group and we welcome you there. But prompts are a big thing that a lot of people, especially writers, really rely on, because sometimes you just need that little bit of spur to get the creative juices flowing. Okay, so the next method we're going to talk about is collaboration. Collaborating with others is a form of brainstorming where others can actually be a great way to help generate new, fresh ideas and perspectives. You can find a writing partner, a writing group, or collaborate with a friend or family member to bounce ideas off of each other to see where the combined creativity takes you. Now, in this, it doesn't even have to be something that the other person has the same vision as you or anything. Sometimes all you need is one little bit of a different perspective for you to take a story from here to here. It really is that easy. So never underestimate the power of collaboration. It is vital, and having a membership or being part of a writing group is vital. Now, the next technique we're going to talk about, take breaks. Now, this is going to seem a little bit counterproductive. I struggle with this one myself, to be honest. But sometimes stepping away from your brainstorming can be just as productive as diving in. So take breaks as needed to give your mind a chance to rest and recharge. Go for a walk, take a nap, or do something else that helps you relax and clears your mind. You might be surprised at the new ideas that come to you when you return to your brainstorming later. Now, that said, short breaks or reasonable breaks, but make sure you do come back. It's a balance that's hard to find for some people, but there's relax, take breaks, and then self-discipline enough to bring you back. And finally, keep an open mind. Remember that the most important part of brainstorming is keeping an open mind. Don't judge or censor your ideas as they come to you. Embrace the unexpected, the weird, the surprising. You never know what might turn out to be a gem that unlocks your memoir's potential. Literally, anything that comes to your mind, write it down, accept it. Judge it later if you choose to, but as it's flowing, just write it down and keep it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the brainstorming techniques. It can be a little bit new, a little bit uncomfortable at times, but remember that the key to successful brainstorming is to keep an open mind, embrace the unexpected. Don't be afraid to explore the new ideas and try new techniques and push beyond your comfort zone. Your memoir is waiting for you to write it, and your brainstorming journey is just the beginning. So get out there, have fun, and let your creativity soar. All right, so now let's move on to the top 10 memoir themes. Now, you may be curious about the most popular themes in memoir writing. Let me tell you, these themes are like the seasoning that would take a good meal and make it great. It adds depth and emotion, and it resonates with your story. So without further ado, let's move on to the top 10 most popular memoir themes. Number 1, coming of age. This theme explores the experiences of growing up and transitioning into adulthood. It can include themes like self-discovery, identity formation, and the challenges of adolescence. Number 2, family relationships. This theme explores the complex dynamics of family relationships, including themes like love, loss, conflict, and reconciliation. It can include stories of family dysfunction, estrangement, and reconciliation. Number 3, overcoming adversity. Now, this theme explores the experiences of overcoming obstacles and adversity, including themes like resilience and perseverance, personal growth. It can include stories of illness, trauma, addiction, or overcoming other significant challenges. Number 4, career and professional development. This theme explores the experiences of pursuing a career or a professional passion, including themes like ambition and perseverance and self-discovery. It can include stories of success, failure, and personal growth. Number 5, love and relationships. This theme explores the complexities of romantic relationships, including themes like intimacy, commitment, and the challenges of love. It can include stories of dating, marriage, divorce, and honestly, everything in between. Number 6, travel and adventure. This theme explores the experiences of traveling and exploring the world, including themes like discovery, culture shock, and personal growth. It can include stories of backpacking, exploring new cultures, and getting out of your comfort zone. Number 7, spiritual exploration. This theme explores the experiences of spiritual exploration and growth, including themes like faith, doubt, and personal transformation. It could include stories of, religious conversion, spiritual awakening, or finding meaning and a purpose in life. Number 8, social justice and activism. This theme explores the experiences of social justice and activism, including themes like advocacy, resistance, and personal empowerment. It can include stories of fighting for justice, standing up to oppression, and making a difference in the world. Number 9, this theme is creative expression. It explores the experiences of creative expression, including themes like art, music, and writing. It can include stories of finding your creative voice, pursuing your artistic passions, and the joys and challenges of creative expression. And finally, 10, humor and satire. This theme explores the experiences of using humor and satire to explore the absurdities of life, including themes like irony, sarcasm, and wit. It can include stories of finding the humor in difficult situations, using humor to cope with adversity, and poking fun at the quirks of human nature. So there you have it. The top 10 popular themes in memoir writing. Now remember, it's most important that you find a theme that resonates with you and your story. It's your life, your story, and your unique perspective that will make your memoir shine. So get out there, explore, tell your story with your heart and passion, and have some fun.